is Coty Schock's ClubMX Yamaha YZ125 two-stroke, and what better place to ride it than at the ClubMX Training Facility here in Chesterfield, South Carolina. Schock has the true American success story. He started out as a privateer and now has climbed his way up the ranks, riding for multiple satellite teams and now landing for the highly esteemed ClubMX Yamaha team. Now, ClubMX is not factory, but they are as close as it gets, and this facility here is bar none, top of the line. Coty Schock built this YZ125 all himself, and we're pretty impressed with how he did on this thing. Trying to find some flaws on it, but the thing looks pretty sweet. Coty Schock is currently tied for third place in the 250 East Coast Supercross standings, heading into the season finale this weekend, but today we're riding two strokes. All right, Cody, so you've been riding and training at ClubMX for a long time, but just at the end of last year, you lost your ride with your previous team. ClubMX picked you up, and now you're here with the sick YZ125. What's the transition been like moving to ClubMX, and why'd you build this bike?
Transition has been pretty easy. The whole reason I really did this bike is honestly to say thank you to all the people and the sponsors behind the team for just bringing me on board at such a late notice. And I was like, you know what, it's time to invest back into myself and to go put in the results that I believe that I can do. We've had a pretty killer year, pretty stoked with everything. And with this build, I mean, who doesn't love a 125 build? It's pretty cool because Yamaha still is making the two-stroke, so it's still really relevant, and I'm a two-stroke lover myself. I wanted something fun for not just me to ride, but if any of the club boys want to hop on a 125, like, go have at it. So it's cool.
So for me, it makes sense to see Coty Schock riding a Yamaha with the ClubMX Yamaha team. You've been doing awesome this year in Supercross, but the coolest part is that they let you do fun projects like this. You spent your own hard-earned money on this and a lot of your own time building this bike with support from them. You've also put a lot of cool parts on it, including the new Boyesen Rad valve. I heard you've been testing with that. So what's the relationship with Boyesen, and how has it been incorporating that into this project that you have on the side of your Supercross career?
Yeah, my relationship with Boyesen's pretty important to me. Honestly, I think they are the longest lasting sponsorship I've had pretty much my entire career, since I was about 10 or 11 years old, and I'm 26 now, so you do the math because I don't feel like doing it for you. But no, it's if I'm able to test any type of product for Boyesen, for me being a two-stroke lover, I'm completely open about doing it. So I purchased this 125 on my own, and I was just like, hey, like, I want to try out the new rad valve that Boyesen came out with, because a lot of people don't know, but the 125 actually did change.
Yep.
I mean, they've been the same since like what, 05 to 21.
Yep.
And then from 22 to current, the intake has changed, cylinder has changed, things have changed on this bike finally. And it just opened a new avenue for Boyesen to come out with a new rad valve for the bike to make more power, linear power. We're excited to get it going and see what it feels. So for my 125 build, I did go through the team to source out my parts, but I paid for them. I was not looking to do a full-blown like free build. It was, hey, if it's a DIY build, and if I'm gonna do it right. The team had some retired forks, so I got some, you know, coated forks, which I was stoked with, because who doesn't love some colorness on the bike? Phathead off Instagram. I was like, hey, I want to engrave Schock with the 69 logo on it. And yeah, so he did the gas cap, which was pretty cool, in purple to match the cylinder head. And I just felt like it would go perfect with the Muc-Off logo, because there's a little bit of pink, purple, whatever you want to call it in there. Shout out to Dubya, the deal on the wheels. Yes, I paid for those. FMF hooked it up with the pipe and silencer. Who doesn't love a clean, raw pipe? And then yeah, Mika Metals, ARC, Luxon clamps for the baby blue. That's something that's really hard to get. So fortunately, we were able to get it from the parts room, and yeah. So there's little components on this bike, but yeah, it's cool build, and super excited to get this thing dirty because it only stays clean once.
I like it.
So I want to start off with, I am no full-blown race mechanic. All right, I am a racer, but my dad trained me well, because if I wanted to ride, I had to work on my own bike. So for me, when I do a build, I want to keep it clean, and I want everything to make sense. So I started off with the kill switch. I wanted to wrap it into the crossbar pad, so I didn't want to have like hanging wires anywhere. That bugs me. Even when it comes to the power valve, the overflow hose, and the radiator hose, like, I want everything looking clean and smooth. Same thing to the carburetor hoses. It's easy for a lot of two-strokes to get all like crossed over and binded up, and we're not having that. If I'm gonna do a clean build, it's gonna go all the way. Even to the wiring for the little ECU that we have on these things. I just want everything clean going up and through the frame. No, you don't really see that. Could you get away with being sloppy? Absolutely, but I'm not doing that. So I have everything running like straight through as a race mechanic would. And the coolest thing is when I brought this to club, all the mechanics, even our team owner, Brandon, crew chief, Greg, even the trainers here, they're like, dude, you did a really good job on that build. I'm like, thank you. It's because I do pay attention to detail. You know, could I become a mechanic after racing? Absolutely, but are we going to? No. We'll leave that to them because I'm more of a parts changer. It was cool to rip the engine out of this bike, clean everything, put it back together, and do my own little detail to it. So with Boyesen, I felt like it was only right to add a super cooler onto the bike because, as we all know, 125, they're kind of a turd. We're going to be wide open on the practice track here at ClubMX all day. We need this thing staying as cool as possible, and with their super cooler and how it smooths out the coolant flow, it only makes sense. So yeah, this thing's going to be pinned everywhere, and I don't know what else to say other than we're going to have a lot of fun.
I'm excited for it. Let's do it.
Yeah. I might be going really slow, but it sounds so fast that it's fun.
All right, Cody's had too much fun on this thing. I think it's my turn now.
You know my body.